Hi guys, welcome back to PhotoTALK. Today I'd like to talk to you about some basic technical features and techniques that I've learned through the years. Also, my post-production editing. Every camera lens has a shutter that opens and closes to expose an image. The larger or smaller the opening is known as the aperture setting. Aperture is denoted by the letter F and a number and is known as f-stop. The range of f-stop on a typical camera is between f4.5 and f22, although it can go as low as f1.2 and as high as f32 on some cameras. Naturally, your aperture setting will depend on the lens you have equipped. The smaller the f-stop number, the larger the opening, and the shallower the depth of field, or blurry background. Conversely, the larger the f-stop number, the smaller the opening, and the clearer the image. In low light and night photography, you would naturally have the aperture at a lower f-stop to allow in more light. Every camera lens has a shutter that opens and closes at a certain speed to capture and still the image. This function is known as shutter speed. A fast shutter speed is measured in 1/100th of a second and ranges from 1/125th to 1/3200th of a second for most cameras. Naturally, for longer exposure, shutter speeds can be set between a few seconds up to several minutes or more. A higher shutter speed also usually yields a sharper image with less motion blur. Depends on how stable the camera is though. One of my favorite techniques is to set a low shutter speed and pan the image. Follow the subject motion by slowly moving the camera. This will give you a wonderful blur effect whilst keeping your subject in focus. You can also do the reverse on a lower shutter speed setting. Hold your focus on a subject in the background and let your foreground become blurred. This is especially effective in street photography. I also enjoy the technique of camera shake, a little primitive but effective for abstract photography, when you literally shake your camera for a desired effect. Finally, every camera has a light sensor that measures its sensitivity toward light. This function is known as the ISO setting. Normally, ISO can range from a minimum of 100 to a maximum of 3200. Be careful at the higher settings though, for your image could become grainier. Spots on the image. These are the three basic and important features of any camera, and as long as you get 2 out of 3 settings correctly, as well as good focusing, you're almost guaranteed a decent image. If you set your camera on auto, the camera will take care of the settings for you. However, if you set your camera on manual, you'll have greater flexibility and freedom for creative imagery. Post-production editing is when you can change your image after it has been taken. There are certain camera files that allow greater flexibility for this, such as shooting in raw images. In post-production editing, I like to resize, crop the image, and reconstitute the image to create literally, most of the times, an entirely different image. With today's technology, digital editing is made so much easier and more fun that broadens your creativity. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.